Thank you. Welcome everyone to what has to be the most popular party in town. The campaign kickoff party for Elizabeth Warren, our next United States Senator. My name is Shannon Sherman, and I am a nurse. Sorry. My name is Shannon Sherman, and I am a nurse working at Cape Cod Hospital in Hyannis, and yesterday I had the distinct pleasure of hearing Elizabeth speak at the Massachusetts Nurses Association's annual convention. Her presentation there was insightful and incredibly motivating, and I immediately knew that I would be giving her my vote. But then I was lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, the ladies' room. Elizabeth and I struck up a conversation as we chatted, and I realized a few more things about her. She is one of the smartest, warmest, most authentic women I have ever encountered. And she is truly, dedicated to helping the middle-class Americans get on solid financial ground again. This last point is the one that is closest to my heart. Why? Because I am the daughter of a hardworking man who watched his retirement dissolve after a long-established New England company faltered and failed and ultimately declared bankruptcy. The worst part? Those at the top, those people running the company, somehow managed to walk away with their financial futures fully protected. Everyone else was left with retirement accounts hovering near zero. Yes, boo. I believe that Elizabeth Warren will fight for all middle-class Americans so that my child, who is due in a few weeks, will not ever have to carry the kinds of burdens that my father has had to carry. And for that reason, she has my vote. Please join me in welcoming Elizabeth Warren, our next United States Senator, to the stage tonight.
Shannon. Thank you. Thank you. This is great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know what Shannon was going to talk about, but I think now it is clear. The balance of power is shifting from the golf course to the ladies' room. So. You just might want to watch out for that. All right. So I want to start by saying thank you so much for being here tonight. This means so much to me. This is the beginning of an incredible journey. I want to start by saying something about what I've been doing and how I got here. You know, I talk a lot about fighting for middle-class families, and the reason for that is pretty straightforward. I grew up in a family that was barely hanging on to its spot in the middle class by its fingernails. My father sold carpeting, he sold fencing, and he ended up as a maintenance man. All three of my brothers did military service. My oldest one, 288 combat missions. We've been a family that worked hard. I started when I was 9 years old. I was very lucky. There was a colicky baby that was born to the family across the street. 35 cents an hour to rock that baby. I started waiting tables at 13. I got married at 19. I graduated from a public university. I did indeed. Graduated from a public university and started teaching in public elementary school, special needs kids. I had my first baby when I was 22, and when I was 24, I stepped off what I thought was where I was headed, and I did something that shocked me. I had never known anyone to do this. I went to law school, a public law school. It was Amelia's second birthday. It was critical that I get her potty trained before my classes started because daycare had a differential charge depending on whether you had a baby in diapers or not. This whole thing, my entire life turned on thank you M&Ms. Working parents will understand. I graduated from law school 9 months pregnant and knew that I couldn't go to a big firm, no one would have me. So I took the bar, I hung out a shingle, and I practiced out of my living room. But I quickly went back to the thing I love best, and that's teaching. And I started teaching. I teach the money courses, contracts, commercial law, and bankruptcy, where it all happens. And worked on middle-class economic issues. Wrote, researched, advocated, got to tell the story. So I taught at 5 different law schools, and 19 years ago, I think that's right, 18 years ago, I got an offer to come here to Massachusetts, where my husband is from. We have family here, to come here to teach at Harvard Law School. Maintenance man to fancy pants Harvard Law School professor. America's a great country. But I really do mean that. America is a great country. I was born into an America that was full of opportunity. I was born into an America that was about investing in kids like me. What's changed is that we have lost our way as a country. Today, America's middle class is getting hammered. It is getting hammered, and Washington just doesn't get it. Think about it this way. Coming out of the Great Depression, we put in place some basic economic laws that gave us economic peace for 50 years. FDIC insurance, Glass-Steagall, some good SEC regulations. Good, steady. But what else we did in those 50 years is we built America's middle class. We invested in America's middle class. Think about it. We did GI loans. We did student loans. I had a student loan for which there was principal forgiveness, 15% a year, if you worked in certain occupations. That's how we invested. We built community colleges. We put money into our public schools, our public elementary schools, our public junior highs, our public high schools. We invested in our kids. We created FHA and VA so that we could get home ownership. We built highways and mass transit so that we could get our goods to market and we could get our workers to jobs. We also built our safety net. We built unemployment, we built Social Security, we built Medicare. Here's the key. In that 50 years, America got richer and America's families got richer. Year by year, as families got richer, the country got richer. As the country got richer, families got richer. That was the deal. We were all in it together, and we were all doing better together for half a century. About 30 years ago, we turned in a different direction. We deregulated financial services industry. We said, hey, make up your own rules and target anybody you want. If you can get it out of their pockets, you get to keep it. And families took it on the chin. Flat wages, rising core expenses, and more debt. That's what happened to America's middle class. Now we live in a world in which GE, a very profitable company, legally pays nothing in taxes, while we say to our young people, if you want to get an education and have a shot at making it in the middle class, you have to take on more debt yourself. We say to our older citizens, you know, you may just have to learn to live on less. This isn't right. So now we face a choice. It's a fundamental question. What kind of a future do we want? For good jobs and for more secure lives, we need growth. And the question is, how do we get it? Well, I've said it before and I will say it again. Nobody got rich on his own. Nobody. To build a successful business takes a smart, well-trained workforce, a workforce the rest of us pay to educate, to have roads and bridges so that you can get your goods to market, to have water, to turn on the taps and have something to work with, to have mass transit so that your workers can get in to do their jobs. It takes the infrastructure the rest of us paid to build. To have a police force, to have firefighters so that you're secure in your job. It takes what the rest of us built. We all paid to create the opportunities for success. I believe in innovators, I believe in entrepreneurs, I believe in the smart guy who built a little tiny business into a great big business. I believe they deserve huge credit. It took skills, it took brains, and it took hard work. And they deserve enormous credit for that. But in a world without an educated workforce, or a world without highways, an entrepreneur can't succeed, and neither can the rest of us. That's why those who succeed should get a big hunk of the benefits, but they should also pay forward. That's right. We created the conditions for you to make it big, and now it's your turn to help create the conditions for the next kid to make it big, and the next kid after that, and the next kid after that. That is America's social contract. That's what we believe in, making a future for ourselves and for our children. The choice is ours, right here in Massachusetts. We can vote for a senator who wants to give special breaks to those who've already made it big. Or we can vote for a senator who wants to make sure that we have the right conditions in place for the next kid to make it big, and the kid after that, and the kid after that. Yes, we have lost our way, and I'm running for the U.S. Senate because I believe we can find our way again. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here tonight. I want to thank you for jumping in early. I want to thank you for creating movement. I want to thank you for making these issues your issues. This is the beginning. I promise you tonight, I will work hard. I will work as hard as humanly possible to win this election. I also promise you I will stay true. Yes. I will. This is a sacred promise. I need you for this. I cannot do this alone. I will do everything I can to make this happen, but I can't do it alone. I need you. I believe that together we can create the conditions that will make us all stronger and richer. I believe we can do this together. I want you. Thank you. Thank you.